This is the Austin City Sphere.
I think that it's very important to give him an appropriate and a meaningful education. So please bear in mind that these therapies and these adjunct services, for him and children like him, these are primary academic teachings.
Parents gathered at Austin High School's Performing Arts Center Thursday night for a conversation with the superintendent. Dr. Meria Carstarphen sat front and center in the auditorium packed with moms and dads concerned about their child's education. This is all about special education.
He will never excel in academics, and he will never participate in AISD athletic events.
This is Bethany Miller. Her son is 8.5 years old. Unlike many of the other parents whose children have disabilities, Miller's son Charles is medically disabled.
The kids at Rosedale, a lot of them are medical, but Charles in particular has a disorder called hydranencephaly, so he was born without his cerebral hemispheres. It means the two separate hemispheres in your brain, right, they're missing, so he actually has his brain stem and his cerebellum's at the bottom, and then his midbrain. He just learns differently. Technically, the doctors have said that he shouldn't be cognitive or alert or feel pain, and he very much does.
Miller worries about what services will be cut because of budget constraints.
The reason that we came tonight was basically because I fear that he's going to start losing more of his services through AISD.
And why is that?
Well, the budget, primarily. In the proposed budget plan, they want to eliminate 2 music therapists and 2 adaptive art therapists. And for children like Charles, they're not just therapies. They are actually educational models. Like a child in a typical school would have a math teacher. Well, Charles has music therapy. It stimulates a different type of learning for him. And so he meets his benchmark goals during music therapy just as he would just during his regular instructional period.
This is a wonderful opportunity for the parents to be heard.
Karen Yeaman's 19-year-old son has autism. She's here because she wants to learn about what AISD and parents will accomplish together. She says fighting is not the answer.
People sometimes are worried that parents expressing themselves, that maybe it will create sort of a mob effect, I think. I don't think that's the case at all, because when you lay it on the table, that's you have a problem, it's the way you solve it. You talk about it, you discuss it.
It was a late night for many of the people in attendance, including the superintendent. The meeting went well over its scheduled time. Afterward, Dr. Carstarphen left, but I did catch up with Jenna Lilly. She's AISD's Director for Special Education. A lot of these issues are overwhelming, I'm sure.
Well, the starfish story about the grandfather and the son who walked along the beach, the grandfather and his grandson, and thousands of starfish. And the grandpa kept picking them up, throwing them in. The little boy said, "Why are you doing that? There's so many." And he picked up one and he threw it in the ocean, and he said it mattered to that one. We are going to get on that road together and move forward, and just if we're not moving forward, we're moving backwards. So here we go.
Lily is eager to learn about what parents have to say. Inclusion was a big issue.
So we're going to do one kid at a time, one issue at a time. One of the things that we're asking from the parents tonight is to complete a survey in which we've asked them to prioritize the top 5 areas, and we're going to really look at that so that we can focus on those top things and find those things that we want to do and do them well and do them quickly.
Lily believes AISD can meet the needs parents have for their children. And when it comes to kids, Miller says nothing is too much to ask.
Anytime I talk about Charles, and I get emotional. It was primarily just advocating for his education. I want him to get the best that he can have. And, a lot of children, or parents, I should say, a lot of parents and families have options. Now, not everyone has options when it comes to education for their children, and certainly they're not always the best options. But, many parents do have options. If it's not private school, it's charter schools. Austin has a lot of charter schools. And there's homeschooling. I mean, there are options. When you have a child that's as involved as Charles, those options don't exist.
I'm Ryan Lloyd, and this is the Austin City Sphere.
You're on AustinCitySphere.com.